Lazerboy, what is the secret of your powers?
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the Lazerboy podcast, episode 34, titled The Holiday Special. Also, in conjunction with MCU Kevin 616, episode 2 of MCU Kevin 616, The Holiday Special. I am the Lazerboy, your host, and here, as always, with my very good friend and co-host, Stephen Bess. How you doing, Stephen?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you doing?
Very good. Excellent.
All right.
Very happy to talk with you today. In this show, we're going to be talking about a couple of things before our main portion of the show here. Mainly the couple of trailers that dropped. Ant-Man Quantumania, the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We're going to talk about some of the stuff in the news, mainly the controversial statements by Quentin Tarantino and how he's, his dislike of the MCU and all things Marvel Cinematic, as well as maybe throw in some Scorsese's hate there. Stephen and I are big fans of both of those filmmakers, so it's going to be interesting to see where we stand there in relation to that argument. And we're going to be talking about all of the Phase 4 criticisms, mainly from like Redditors and trolls and fans. I shouldn't have said trolls there, but
No, they're trolls.
yeah, they are
They're
mainly
trolls.
But you know what? It's an interesting conversation to be had because we do need to hear them. We do need to hear what people are saying about it because Steven and I don't work for the MCU directly, but I feel like in spirit we do, and we always want to make it better. And if that be criticizing it, then so be it. And that's going to be all a prologue to our main portion of the episode, which is we're going to be talking about the two holiday specials, the Halloween special Werewolf by Night, and the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which just dropped a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to record this like a week after, but I got sick, so we couldn't do that, and we're feeling a bit better this week. So, I believe that's all we're going to talk about, right? Did I miss anything there, Stephen?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So let's get right into. Before that, let me plug some stuff. The website first, the Lazerboy with a Z, thelazerboy.wordpress.com. Type us up, the Lazerboy with a Z, on YouTube to find past episodes. We just, like I said, we started a blog called MCU Kevin 616, which encompasses all things MCU, Marvel Comics, and everything Marvel, pretty much, right, Stephen?
Yeah.
Marvel memes, music, ugly Christmas sweaters by Drax, and you can find us there on Facebook. Just type in MCU Kevin 616. I believe we may be the only result that comes up. We also have an Instagram page that's at MCU Kevin 616, and that's it. Let's just get right into the episode. First, let's talk about the trailers.
Okay.
Ant-Man Quantumania. What did you think of the Quantumania trailer there, Steven?
Well, I enjoyed it, but I'm a fan of everything Marvel, so that's a little bit biased on my part.
Right.
No, I've always loved Ant-Man as a character, and I've always loved Paul Rudd as an actor. So I'm looking forward to this. I thought the two Ant-Mans, the first two ones, were a nice bit of comic relief.
Yeah.
For the MCU. I'm looking forward to Quantumania, like we discussed, for no other reason than Bill Murray.
Yes. Bill Groundhog Day Ghostbustin' Murray.
Oh, Ghostbustin' Murray.
Ghostbustin' ass Murray. Who are you gonna call? As the RZA so eloquently put it in the Coffee and Cigarettes. Yes. But yeah, that was a great cameo. I was really surprised when I saw him. I was like, it's about time. But yeah, let's address what's going on with Ant-Man at this point in time. So we haven't seen Ant-Man since Endgame,
No, we haven't.
and low key, I think he was like one of the main. His character has like the biggest arc, arguably in Endgame, right? I mean, he gets it all started with the time heist, and then
Correct.
you know what I mean.
Yes.
So he gets it all
The
rolling.
classic time heist.
So low key, I think he was like one of the main characters in Endgame there, and
Right.
then it worked out. It things didn't go terribly wrong. Kind of there with we know the other dimension. Um,
The quantum realm.
yeah,
Correct.
the quantum, the other version of Thanos like entering our dimension there could have been disastrous, but uh, we know how that all ended, so don't want to get into that too deeply. But yeah, so in this one, well, in Ant-Man 2, we got Janet back, right? That's Hank's wife.
Right.
And then,
Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
right. And then it's, oh, so in Ant-Man 3, it's like 7 years later. So the daughter is all grown up now, right?
Cassie. Right.
Cassie,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. And then we see in the trailer that she like opened up some kind of, well, she had some kind of like homing
Portal into the
beacon.
quantum realm.
Yeah, she put some kind of beacon in the quantum realm, and Janet was like, "Oh no, what'd you do that for?" Because she's been living in the quantum realm for like a good part of like the latter half of her life there,
Yeah.
for like decades it seems like. So she knows what's the chaotic nature of that uh, world. There's like a whole other society it seems like, right? And we get our first. I think this is going to be the first feature of Kang, even though we saw him
Yeah.
in the
Definitely.
final
King Conqueror.
episode.
We saw him in Loki.
We saw him in the final episode of
But
Loki, and
mhm.
like he just like dumped a shit ton of exposition of like what's
Yes.
of his kind of backstory and the nature of where he came from and how the struggles that he went through. Right, I can't remember exactly, but and then
And I think King is definitely going to be the new big bad.
yeah,
He's, the next Thanos.
yes, that's thank you for addressing that. And then of course at the end, I'm skipping a whole bunch of stuff from the trailer, but yeah, we got Bill Murray. We got they're gonna have a lot of quantum realm adventures, and we got that one dude that looks like the Pixar, the light bulb with the big
Oh yeah,
like
the giant, like the 4K spotlight for the head.
yeah, the spotlight with like the jacked fucking body there. Uh,
Right.
and then in the end we got like the Kang standoff with Ant-Man, and it looks really kind of rather grim. He's like saying something like he's getting said this is the end of Ant-Man, kind of, it seems like that they're hinting at there. So, and I was reading a lot about how people are speculating that Ant-Man might die, just from the simple fact that Paul Rudd has signed a long-term contract with another franchise, being the Ghostbusters Afterlife,
Ghostbusters.
yeah,
Yeah.
franchise. So it seems like people are speculating that he may die. This may be the end of Ant-Man. We will see. Ant-Man got his start in 2015, I believe. So
I
he's
think
been
so.
with
Yeah.
he's been an OG, not one of the OG Avengers, but like the later OG, I guess.
Right.
Like maybe Falcon and like Wanda OG. So he's not like second generation Avengers anymore. He's like one of the older Avengers. So it makes sense that maybe he could die. You know what I mean? So what do you think about that?
It's a possibility. It's a strong possibility actually, because they have. I mean, right now we don't have Captain America. We don't have Iron Man. Kevin Feige has basically come out and said the Avengers are no more.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, like you said, watching the film,
Yeah.
but they very easily could. I mean, kill him off and bring in another character,
Yeah. I mean,
or introduce Cassie as the new.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they're already kind of set her up as like she's kind of taken over in terms of like, I mean, fucking what's Ant-Man's real name?
Scott Lang.
Yeah, Scott. Scott's not really like a scientific person, right? So he just kind of inherited
No,
it.
not at all.
Yeah, he just kind of like haphazardly like donned the suit through happenstance, right? Where it was like Hank Pym and Janet were like the kind of the masterminds and like the guy behind the guy in the chair, right? As Ned puts it. But it seems like Cassie's more of like more, scientifically, theoretically, like minded, so she could like be more suited to don the suit than her father, her predecessor. There, so yeah, interesting to see. It's fun to speculate. We will see. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of cool quantum realm, antics there. Looks to be kind of crazy there in the trailer, especially. So, anything else you want to add about the trailer, Ant-Man Quantumania?
Other than that, I'm looking forward to Bill Murray.
Yeah, who does he play? Do we know?
I don't know yet.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he looks like just like some fun, loving, like grandmaster type Jeff Goldblum guy, but
Yes.
I don't think he's going to be on for multiple movies. That's for sure. He's getting up there in age, but who knows? We'll see. Excuse me. Sorry if I'm like always sniffling and stuff. I'm still getting over the cold
Okay.
/ flu. So I apologize to our listeners if it sounds kind of gross to listen to me. I'm always like blowing my nose here and there. So I'm trying to do that away from the microphone. So every time you hear me like from far away, it's because I'm blowing my nose. Anyway, okay, let's get it right into the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. This dropped after the special, but includes a lot of plot detail that we can speculate from, right? Where are the Guardians at this point? They're on nowhere, right? We
Correct.
gather that from the special,
Yeah.
and there's no Gamora. Gamora 616 Gamora is gone from Thanos sacrificed her to get the Soul Stone, right? If I remember correctly, from Infinity War, right, Steven?
Yes.
So Gamora's gone. There's like another version of Gamora floating out there from that other universe Thanos that died, that Tony snapped off, right?
Right.
And so she's out there. She doesn't remember Peter. She only knows Peter from Nebula, our Nebula, the 616, the good Nebula, who said like this guy, you're supposed to be in love with this guy, and it was either him or a talking raccoon, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what planet they're on in the opening where when when Drax throws the ball at that girl's head, but from the species of those people, can you speculate where they are at that point?
Well, I think, like you said, aren't they on nowhere based on the Christmas special?
Yeah, but that I mean, I'm just talking about that part in the trailer. They look like they're like in some kind of like suburban, like cul-de-sac area where like kids are playing outside. So I don't think that's nowhere. That looks too like
And that's the Earth.
is that Earth with aliens in it? Because they're like a different species of. They're not human. I don't know. I thought you knew, so that's why I was asking you. But
Right.
what else happens in the trailer? No, go ahead, Steven.
No, go ahead.
No, you're gonna say something.
I said I'm not sure.
Oh,
So I have to
uh,
watch it and find out.
okay. So Drax is wearing like a some kind of Guardians issued overshirt there. He's not shirtless anymore. I wanted to point that out for some reason. Um, I think Dave Bautista is just getting a little old and he can't like maintain that muscular physique anymore
Perhaps.
unless like he's on steroids like The Rock or something. But
Oh, okay, yeah.
dude, there's no way Dwayne Johnson's not on. Have you seen him in Black Adam?
Yes, I have seen
Okay.
that guy.
That's unnaturally ripped, dude. There's no way he's not on steroids.
Okay.
That's just me. Who
That's
knows?
just okay.
That's just
Good.
me. Yeah. Anyway, so a bunch of stuff happens. Yeah, no Gamora. I said. There's like a villain. He's like the guy from Selma. forget his name. Like David. I don't want. I don't want to try to pronounce the name because I'm gonna butcher it. But Oyewolo? No, is that him? I don't know. Some African American dude. It looks to be like he's playing the villain.
Right.
Bunch of space antics. Rocket seems like he might get his origin story, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, but yeah, the origin
Flashbacks.
of Rocket.
Flashbacks, you mean?
Yes.
Or maybe he just like goes to like the lab or the planet that he was created in, and then like it all comes like rushing back to him, right? Like flashbacks and visions of how he was created. And then we see him like hugging an otter there, so maybe that's another.
Right.
Yeah, maybe that's another like subject that was tested on and became anthropomorphic. Is that the right word? Or
Yes.
intelligent? Whatever.
Super intelligent.
Yeah, super intelligent raccoon and otter there. Groot's a little older. He's not a teenager anymore. Maybe he's like a young adult.
Yeah, he's
He,
growing up a little bit.
yeah, he's like kind of buff now. Yeah, I am Groot. Whoa! I think that was in like Infinity War. He's like playing a video game. He's like playing a Game Boy. And he's like, I am Groot.
Yeah.
He probably said something like "fuck off" or something, and they're like, "Whoa, what the watch the language there, Groot, teenage Groot, so much
Yeah.
teenage. He's all angsty and shit.
Right. Puberty grew.
Don't make me laugh, Steven.
All right.
Um, oh yeah, Adam Warlock, played by the dude from like Detroit. Sorry, I don't have the wiki in front of me, so I don't want to.
No, there you go. They just showed Gamora in the trailer. I'm watching it right now.
No, that's what I said. Yeah, I meant a
She,
Gamora from another dimension, though. It's
true. It
it's
might
not.
not be the Earth 616.
No, we definitely know it's not because she's dead and she can't come back because she was sacrificed at whatever that place was where Thanos got the Soul Stone, right?
Yeah.
So she can't come back from that. Just like Natasha, right?
Well, until their contacts get removed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So Gamora, the other version of Gamora is out there. Maybe I think it's probably obvious if it's gonna be the final Guardians film, she's gonna like fall for Peter. I mean, that's gonna be the obvious arc there,
Right.
or they could just be like really good friends and like
Just really good friends.
yeah. It's like the possibility of romance could be there. Like they walk off
Right.
and like they're gonna start to get to know each other again. So it doesn't have to be romantic, but
Well, something like that. I
yeah,
think you're right.
it kind of sucks for Peter
Off
because
into the sunsets.
right. Because we spent like two films of him like trying to, curry her favor, her romantic interest, so to speak. And then he finally gets the girl, and then like boom, like she's taken away. So that's kind of tragic there. So it'd be nice for Peter to have a happy ending there, um, especially how close they've grown over the course of those two films and like Avengers films too, right? So
Right. And a Christmas special.
and yeah, but there's no Gamora in the Christmas special there,
Right.
unfortunately. But yeah, he's all mopey because of that, right? In the special because of Gamora and Drax and Mantis try to do something special for him. But we'll get into that at the end of the show there. So anything else about? Oh yeah, Adam Warlock. What are his powers exactly? Do you know?
Adam Warlock?
Yeah. You still there, Steven?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, are you just trying to think about what he does, or
Exactly.
he's
Hang on.
he's one of those gold people, right?
Right, correct.
What are they called?
Hang on.
I know they're from Volume 2, and like they're very like they're very stuck up, right? And like
Right.
Rocket says something to like insult them.
Oh, I shall blink with my other eye.
Right. They're just like so offended by Rocket's remarks there. It was hilarious. Man, I gotta rewatch Volume 2. I haven't seen it. I don't go back and watch like earlier phases just because like I'm like I felt like Endgame was just so definitively closed that chapter, and I don't want to kind of revisit that. But I should rewatch stuff like that just because it's fun.
Hmm.
Anyway, so Adam Warlock's there.
The Enclave.
The how do you say that?
The Enclave.
Enclave. Okay. Do we know if Sylvester Stallone is coming back or?
I think he might be. I
Okay.
think he is.
Nice, nice. All right, yeah, he could be like the substitute Yondu, right? Because he's part of that clan.
Right.
And then we know that the Sean Gunn character has that mohawk that controls the arrow now. What's his name? Kraglin?
Kraglin, yeah.
Kraglin, yeah, nice. I loved him in the special. Okay, cool. So that's gonna be dropping. Anything else you want to add about the Guardians Volume 3 trailer there, Steven?
I love the part where Drax hits the little girl with the dodgeball.
Yes, yes, yes. And then at the end, they're like, "We're gonna kill a bunch of people." It's like, no killing. One guy, then one stupid guy who no one loves.
Stupid guy.
One stupid guy who no one loves. Drax is gonna kill as always,
Yeah.
comedically. I mean, and literally, he's probably gonna kill some people. We know that. He loves killing.
Yes, he does.
He is. They don't call him the Destroyer for nothing, right?
Right. That's sort of his thing.
And he doesn't dance either.
No.
Dancing's for idiots. He prefers women to stand there lifeless, like his wife.
Right.
It could be the most groovable song, and she wouldn't tap her foot. That's when I knew I loved her.
Right.
Drax. All right, so that was the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer that's going to be dropping sometime summer of 2023, I believe in May or June there.
Yeah, probably Memorial Day.
Okay, yeah. It's going to be the only MCU film in the summer, so it's going to be a big one. I mean, it's James Gunn's swan song there in the MCU because he's going to be kind of busy there as president of DC, the DCU there. So
yeah.
If anything, people will just go see it for that. And I mean, his blueprint is all over the Guardians. So even like
Definitely.
when the Russo brothers were doing, use them in Infinity War, James Gunn was there as a consultant. So
Yeah.
there's no Guardians without James Gunn. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a very emotional final film of the trilogy, and I'm looking forward to it. And can't wait to talk about it with you after we watch it. So
Absolutely.
okay, cool. Let's move on to some more talk here. Real quickly, yeah, let's talk about Tarantino's been in the news. He's been doing his press rounds, promoting Cinema Speculation, his book on like 1970s cinema, maybe 60s there. And he's been writing a lot of books, right? He wrote the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood novel, novella. And
I think that's his new thing. He wants to be an author now.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to get a lot of backlash on that, right? Because not as much as the film community, anyway. So he's been controversial statements about Marvel, saying he's saying Marvel actors are not movie stars, quote unquote, right? And getting a lot of backlash from MCU actors, in particular Simu Liu, who said, and I kind of agree with them on this point. Simu saying, Marvel has really opened up the doors in terms of like representation and given a lot of shots to non-typical movie stars, So in that regard, I think MCU is a positive there. Anthony Mackie, I believe, kind of agreed with Tarantino. Um, and I think he's quoted as saying something that like people go to the movies, people go to see a Marvel movie to see Captain America. They don't go to see Chris Evans. You know, using that as like the most obvious example. Sam Jackson kind of rebuked the statement, saying, you know, there's a bunch
Yeah.
of movie stars. I'm a movie star. Sam Jackson saying, Chadwick Boseman's a movie star. You know, so and then most recently here we got Robert Downey Jr., who's promoting the documentary about his father senior, saying, you know, there's enough room for everything. We shouldn't be
Yeah.
we shouldn't be fighting. You know, like get
Why
over
can't we
it.
all just get along?
Exactly. Yeah, they're just saying like get over it. You know, we're one big community. Like
Which I tend to agree with for the most part.
yeah,
I'm in the Downey Jr. camp.
yeah. RDJ's being very diplomatic, being very pragmatic. Yeah. So, you have anything else you want to add to? Where do you side first of all?
Okay, I think I'm going to say I think absolutely they are fucking movie stars.
Yeah.
I think you know, Tarantino and like you mentioned Scorsese and a lot of these guys might just be a little bit bitter
Yes. Good.
because
Good point.
well, you know, come on, everyone in the world from Hollywood to Shanghai goes to see these movies. They
Yep.
make billions of dollars overnight. That's something that if I were a Tarantino or a Scorsese, I would only dream of.
Right.
Can you imagine creating a product that sells out billions of dollars overnight?
Yeah. Well, I can't, but I'd love to. I'd love to
Right.
be a part of that in some form.
Well, and
Some.
like we talked about earlier, didn't I seem to remember Tarantino at one point saying he wanted to direct a Luke Cage movie,
Okay, I
or if
didn't
he
hear
could
about
direct
that.
any Marvel movie, he would do Luke Powerman, Luke Cage.
Okay, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he should have directed an episode of that actually, because you know RZA directed an Iron Fist episode, and
right.
Tarantino's not averse to directing TV. I think he directed like a CSI episode where a guy was trapped in a coffin, just like the bride was in Kill Bill Volume 2. You know, so um, you know, I don't
Well,
want to.
the whole point being is it goes back to, for me, I mean, if you look at the original movies, one of the very first films, I mean, go back to like Edwin S. Porter or D.W. Griffith.
Okay.
The very first films were chase scenes,
Yeah.
train robberies, actions, you know, extended action sequences.
Right. No, I
And
get you.
so I don't think there's anything wrong with making an action-based movie.
Right. A lot of great points you mentioned there, Stephen. I do believe Tarantino and Scorsese, as much as we admire them, Stephen and I love those filmmakers. You're
Oh,
right. They're
absolutely.
coming from a very old fashioned perspective, maybe from a little bitterness perspective. Like my movies aren't making that much money, or my movies aren't that culturally relevant anymore because we're old. You know, they're Scorsese's like 80, um,
Yeah.
Tarantino's like 60, pushing mid 60s there. So um, they're a little bitter. They're a little curmudgeony. Um,
Curmudgeonly. I like that word.
but no offense.
No, I mean,
But
if Scorsese releases another movie, I'll obviously
of
go
course,
see it.
obviously,
If Tarantino does
it's
another movie, I'll obviously
it's
go see it.
apples and oranges. You know, it's
Exactly.
Tarantino's more talky. He's more of like a classical cinema, spaghetti western, like grindhouse,
Yeah, but you know he's a Marvel
classical,
Comics fan. I mean, even in
yeah,
Reservoir Dogs.
classical like late 60s kind of Hollywood cinema. So,
Right.
and I think he's coming from that perspective of saying like whoever Robert Redford or Al Pacino, these are classic movie stars that when you see their name on the top bill, you're going to go see it for them. That's just not how it is anymore. You know what I mean? People go
Well,
see
but
movies because
but
people go see
audiences did the same
movies,
thing for Errol Flynn,
right?
who
People
was Robin Hood.
Exactly. No, that's a
in
good point.
1939,
But
or Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz.
But yeah, there are some exceptions, to the rule. Tom Cruise will rake in, well, not for like the Mummy or anything, but like that's the exception to exception. But yeah, there are still some exceptions. Brad Pitt, these are like movie stars. Robert Downey Jr. Can still, I don't know about like Doolittle, but like look at like
Right.
Black Adam. Like that's people are saying that's almost like the death of the movie star because Dwayne Johnson couldn't save a flop. You know what I mean? So it's just a different culture now. There's a different scene. People go to the movies in droves. If it's an event film, if it's like a roller coaster ride film, and Disney, Marvel especially, are masters of making those. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but I get his criticism as well of saying, there are no singular voices because it's all one machine. There can't be any auteurs in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, I could kind of disagree with because look at James Gunn. He kind of put his stamp on the Guardians franchise. You know what I mean? So,
Well, love him or hate him, I think so as Taika Waititi.
Yeah, thank you. Taika Waititi. How'd you say your name?
Yeah.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi directed the movie. Taika Waititi. But I don't want to dwell on this too much. But
That's a deep
I just
dive inside joke.
exactly that's from Steven's rendition of that song there from Thor Ragnarok. But yeah, I just wanted to address that for a second. I think Tarantino's just kind of trolling right now because dude, he's a master like self promoter. He knows how to promote himself. He knows how to get in the news and start controversy, and he's doing it for he's done what he's set out to do. We're talking about it, and people are going to be like, oh, maybe I'll just buy the book while I'm at it. You know what I mean? So he knows what he's doing.
Right.
Anyway, do you have anything else to add to that, or shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Okay, yeah. All right, so this is another kind of, speaking of trolls, a lot of people right now are disappointed with the status of Phase 4. Since Phase 4 of the MCU just ended with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And let me just, before we add our thoughts into it, let me read here. I'm reading from Screen Rant, and it's saying Redditors 10 most valid criticisms about Phase 4. One, or I won't even number. I'll just go by them. Here, let me take a drink real quick. My throat's kind of dry. All right. They're saying too many releases. There's a lot of like Disney Plus shows drop in. Formulaic Disney Plus shows. All these shows feel formulaic and like try too hard to push their comedy. Audiences' high expectations from the last, from Phase 3, Endgame, was like left on a really high note, you know what I mean? So, underwhelmed by character arcs. What is it? Hit or miss, breaking the mold. Fan bait. Characters have the same personality. No team ups. Great characters are gone, like Tony Stark and Cap. And let me add to these 15 biggest disappointments in the MCU. All right. Non-committal nature of special presentations is concerning. VFX artists are treated poorly. MCU is dipping in quality. Moon Knight and She-Hulk won't get a second season. I did not even know that, so that's kind of news to me there. Did you know about that, Steven?
No.
MCU is no longer accessible to new fans, which I kind of get because you have to watch like 40 films to like catch up, which is a little disconcerting there. MCU fatigue is kicking in. I think superhero movies in general fatigue are kind of kicking in, just like we saw with like Star Wars movies, right?
Yeah.
Phase 4 has too many characters with no connective tissue. There's little connection between Phase 4's movies and shows. Multiverse might be too ambitious for the MCU. Older characters aren't getting natural development. MCU villains problem. MCU villain problem is here to stay. Mutants have been teased but not announced. MCU hasn't lived up to Endgame's expectations. MCU is too PG-13. And MCU's emotional moments aren't landing. Okay. Do you have anything to... What do you think about that, Steven? Let's talk about one of those points. Say what?
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I know. I just like dropped a shit ton of information. Hey, guys, let's start with the most obvious one here, or one of the last ones I left off on was MCU hasn't lived up to Endgame's expectations, which is nigh impossible, right? How can you live up to that? And especially when you're kind of starting up again. Like I liken Phase 4 to like Phase 1 again. Yeah, like we're starting to get into origin stories, introducing new characters. And of course we're not going to get the high of Endgame. You know, we're not there yet. It's the first act. You know what I mean? So in that sense, you're barking up the wrong tree there, buddy. Like wait till what? Phase 6, right? If you want to get that high of Endgame. Because we had so much buildup for that. You know what I mean? We're going back to square one now, so to speak. We're building things up again. You know what I mean? So does that make sense? Do you agree with that, Steven? Or
yes, I do.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, no, like you said, I think they're introducing a new generation of characters.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of be patient and wait.
Yeah, and let's look at some films from Phase 1. There wasn't any connective tissue between Iron Man and Captain America yet, right? Well, besides Tony Stark's father, right?
Right.
Being in there. Besides like the teasers, the stingers that we get at the end, they were all kind of standalone, right? Like Tony faced off against the dude, I forget that his Jeff Bridges.
Lebowski?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that had nothing to do with the overall, that was it. We just saw him beat him, and then that informed us of that character and that universe. And then that was it, right? Thor kind of introduced Hawkeye as well. So, and then we got like some Shield stuff there. So, right. But like you got to look at it like in that from that standpoint. You know what I mean? Like Black Widow is standalone as a prequel. Shang-Chi standalone. He's going to be an Avenger later, right? So we need to get his origin story. We can't just throw them all in one team-up movie. Otherwise, we're going to get Black Adam. Little dig there at Black Adam with the Justice Society. But I talked with Steven the other night about how I felt like they were just kind of rushed in to introduce that team-up. And then to the detriment of that movie, because I was like, what are Dr. Fate's powers? What is that flying dude? Like, what is his powers exactly? He's just really strong? You know, Atom Smasher, I know Cyclone was like Storm. You know, Atom Smasher was kind of like the Ant-Man, right? He grew big.
Right.
But like, there was no stakes in those battles because I was like, I didn't get to know any of these characters. You know what I mean? So that's what they're doing right now. They're just setting these guys up for the stakes to be higher later, right?
Presumably, yeah.
As far as here, the MCU villain problem, what do you think they mean by that? Okay, yeah, most of the villains aren't very memorable, right? Besides Namor, can you name one like other memorable MCU villain from Phase 4?
Scarlet Witch.
Oh yes, yeah, Scarlet. Oh yeah, it's actually really good. Thank you for that. Spider-Man
the Conqueror.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home had like multiple villains.
The Sinister Six.
The Sinister Six, yeah, pretty much. Their version of the Sinister Six, right? So
right. Well, there were only 5 of them, but 6 if you count Venom.
Yeah.
Because they had Tom Hardy at the end of the trailer or the post-credit scene.
No, people are. I read a lot that they're saying J. Jonah Jameson was low key the sixth Sinister Six, because he kind of
Oh, okay.
he kind of got things in motion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I kind of like that theory as well. She-Hulk's villain was internet trolls, right?
And yes,
Kind of
Todd
genius.
Hulk.
And who?
Todd Hulk.
Oh, tall. All right,
Yes.
yeah. The guy that was obsessed with her,
The
right?
leader of like right the QAnon
Yeah,
group.
yeah. But they're all trolls.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I meant. Yeah, most of these films like are really forgettable. Eternals wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Maybe just because people were shitting on it, and I was like expecting something to be downright unwatchable, and I enjoyed it. So, but yeah, it was. I never revisited it. So, Thor: Love and Thunder. I kind of liked Christian Bale in that. Right? He was
Yes.
kind of cool, but kind of one off and one note. Um, yeah, I think people are just like I said, barking up the wrong tree. We are we've been spoiled. You know what I mean? Of course, we need that come down period from Endgame, and we kind of got that. We got a year off of MCU films because of the pandemic, right? But also, we got to
Right.
look at the pandemic because that really threw things out of whack, out of motion, right? Like Marvel had a plan, Kevin Feige had a plan, and then it was all disrupted, and then they all kind of had to scatter, and then now we're getting like a bunch of stuff that are like kind of reorganizing shows, reorganizing films release dates around and stuff like that. So we're kind of getting a mishmash because of that. So it's not really their fault, and they're doing the best that they can. But they are a company. They have to address um, concerns of their audience because that's ultimately who they're making their product for, right? So these are all valid concerns, and we'll see if they adjust them accordingly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, final thing about this topic. You and I have agreed that the main kind of theme for this kind of saga, this three-phase saga, seems to be the multiverse, right?
Correct.
So out of all these films from Phase 4, what shows and what movies have addressed that multiverse theme, right?
I think WandaVision has.
Okay, yeah,
I think
WandaVision.
WandaVision did a pretty good job.
Yeah, that was a
And
great
definitely
introduction
Doctor
too.
Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, so that's two. Oh,
And
Loki for sure.
Loki. Yeah.
Um, it looks like Love and Thunder wasn't. Spider-Man: No Way Home, right? So that's
Yeah.
four. That's four. And then I didn't see Moon Knight or Ms. Marvel. Did they address the multiverse at all, or
Not so much. Not
no?
really.
Okay. Okay, so we got four so far. Oh yeah, that looks. I was about to say Ant-Man: Quantumania, but that's going to be the first film of Phase 5. So
Right.
yeah, so like four out of maybe 6 to 9. It's not bad. Like halfway. 50% of the films and TV shows have addressed the multiverse. Yeah. Oh, we forgot about the Eternals. There wasn't any multiverse stuff in there, right? If I
No.
remember correctly. Okay. So like yeah, they spaced it out properly, I think. Oh yeah, I mentioned this to you last night, but it seems like they may dial back or maybe outright cancel some Disney Plus shows. Do you think that's fair, or do you agree with that? Like, it seems like they're gonna delay or cancel Echo.
Well, like
Um,
you said, they're a company. They got to do what's right for business.
yeah, Echo, Agatha, and another show I forgot. So yeah, they're just doing what they got to do, right? And it's good that if they're scrapping any shows, they're doing it for like the lower tier, like tertiary. Oh, yeah, and the Ironheart is the third one.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like they're just like they need to adjust their finances and productions accordingly. So they're fixing things right now and they're adjusting due to fan backlash. and whatnot. But that's the nature of the business, right? So we'll see what happens. As far as the films go, the films are going to be still have their release dates. So 3 films a year is what they're going by. So next year, Quantum Mania, Guardians 3, and The Marvels. So they're still going to be on schedule there. So, all right, cool. Shall we move on, or do you have anything else to add to that, Steven?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know you're getting a little tired there. I'm always keeping you up past your bedtime. I'm sorry, Steven. Do you forgive me?
Yes.
All right. All right, let's get into our main meat of the show here. Starting with the Halloween special, Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night was a TV special directed by Michael Giacchino. Wow, I didn't know that he directed it. He's usually the composer, right? Very memorable composer for a lot of stuff. Starring Gael Garcia Bernal, Laura Donnelly, Harriet Sanson Harris. It is the first horror, like pure horror genre, because I know Multiverse of Madness had horror elements to it as well because of Sam Raimi, right? Are you there, Steven?
Yes.
What did you think of Werewolf by Night?
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Any specifics there?
Not really.
All right, this is gonna be a short podcast episode. It was fun. End of conversation. What in particular did you think was fun about it?
It was true to the comic. I liked how it had Man-Thing in it.
Okay, so it was a comic.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to be the voice of dissent here and say I did not like this special.
Okay.
I like the aesthetic of it. I liked how it started out with like a Universal,
The old
and like
Carl Lamel,
right, like
yeah,
the
Universal horror films.
4:3 aspect ratio. Was it? No, I think it was still 2:3:5. But the black and white, and they had that heart stone thing that was red. That was the only thing in color, right?
Bloodstone.
Bloodstone. Sorry, thank you. I saw it like 2 weeks ago, and it was before I was sick, so it felt like my sickness felt like ages. So, and I'm still kind of sick. But no, I wasn't really high on it. I thought it was kind of fun, that they had this structure, this framing device of we need to hunt the monster, right? I had a bunch of monster hunters, and my boy, what's his name? That the Asian guy who's in it, Leonardo Nam. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, so cool casting. But overall, I thought it was kind of useless. It didn't do anything for me. I know it was a one shot, and I don't know. I didn't like it for some reason. Gal Garcia Bernal is fine. He didn't scare me or anything. There was no there's maybe a couple jump scares, so it's very like PG-13 kind of jump scare horror film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked his relationship with that tree thing. Is that man thing?
Yep.
That's the man thing. Okay. But at the end, I felt like he had no chemistry with that girl. So overall, it was just kind of a miss for me. So I didn't even get what was supposed to happen. They're supposed to hunt. What was the point? They're supposed to hunt a monster. Whoever gets the most kills gets the bloodstone. Is that
right?
Is that the purpose? I'm asking
Yes.
you. Okay.
But yeah, essentially.
Yeah, it was a bit long too. It was like 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was about at least an hour or so.
Actually, I made a mistake. I felt it was too short because I think it wrapped up really quickly, and I'm like, okay, none of the stuff that I felt like they intended was landed correctly for me. So, but that's just me. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it. I'll give it another shot. Maybe if I'm in the mood, maybe I'll watch it during Halloween this time instead of because I watched it back to back with the Guardian special. I was like, Guardians was too short. It was like 40 minutes. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch it, do a double feature to make it like a movie night, And I kind of watched it to like hurry up. I want to get to the Guardians special already.
Yeah.
So I kind of watched it prejudging. I was like, fuck you. I was already like, fuck you. Hurry up. maybe not the right mindset to have while watching. All right, so anything else you want to add about the Werewolf by Night special there, Steven?
Not really, no. I mean, it was all right.
Yeah, first time direction by Michael Giacchino. Maybe that had something to do with it. I like this idea though. I think they might be doing this a bit more. It's a little less expensive on their production part, not that much commitment from actors, from the whole production team. So I think they might be going this route a lot more. It even says in the wiki here, Werewolf by Night would begin to explore a variety of monsters that have existed in the MCU for centuries, such as artwork featured in the special. Furthermore, they stated that the idea was to have such monsters appear in future projects. The special's ending intentionally left Russell and Bloodstone totally unchanged and in a space that they did not expect to find themselves in, and felt it was the beginning for characters, but was uncertain if they would return. Feige said the special would introduce a part of the MCU that would become quite important to its future. So a little cryptic there. I don't know what he meant by that, but anyway, that was Werewolf by Night, the first special by the MCU. And we'll get right into the second special of the MCU. And that is the feature of the podcast, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
I just saw on the calendar that right now on Earth, it's almost Christmas time.
We don't have time for trivialities like Christmas.
But Peter's so sad about Gamora being gone. Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
I just said that, Drax.
Your voice is small and mousy. I think maybe he didn't hear you.
This is an American television special written and directed by James Gunn for Disney Plus. It dropped on November 25th. I have to call him back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My phone, I'm here now, but
Okay.
the call just dropped.
Oh, yeah. I thought you just fell asleep from my my
No.
rambling there. Good to know. All right. So,
Sorry.
yeah, no worries. Let's get right back into it. I was just giving the credits of the Guardian special here. So, yeah, this is the first holiday special, or the second holiday special by the MCU, dropped on Disney Plus November 25th, 2002. And it says here that it serves as the conclusion of Phase 4. So I did not know that. Kind of interesting. The special received positive reviews for critics for its humor, Gunn's direction, and the cast's performances. And I loved it a lot, but I'll get into more of that after we hear Steven's thoughts. What'd you think of this Guardians holiday special, Steven?
What do you think I thought of it?
I thought you vomited after you saw it.
No, I really enjoyed it a lot.
I was being facetious there, buddy.
Yeah, I know. No, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Okay.
It really. I'm more of a Halloween type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it comes to Christmas, I'm kind of like bah humbug.
Really?
So I did a good job of bringing out my own Christmas spirit, if you will.
I would have never thought that about you, Steven.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really. No, it was great. It was nothing like the Star Wars holiday special.
Didn't think you were going to bring that up.
They're also
but
playing on Disney Plus, I believe.
I did not know
You have
that.
to
Okay.
Name drop Disney once again.
Well, there you go.
But no, I really enjoyed it. I loved. It was. Let's bring him the greatest gift of all. What about the greatest person of all? You mean Kevin Bacon?
Right. Okay,
I mean,
so
it was just a great payoff on that long running joke that they did in volumes 1 and 2.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Well, before we get into specifics, let me tell you my general thoughts on the film before we start. To completely contrast my thoughts on Werewolf by Night, I thought like this is how you do a special, you know.
Yeah,
From the start,
definitely.
From the start, we get the animation and like Peter's origins with Yondu and Kraglin,
Kraglin.
and he's like giving him a gift, and he's like, no, get that bah humbug, get that out of here. And I'm like,
I
oh,
hate Christmas. I'm guilty. We're the Ravagers. Shut up.
I hate Chris. Thank you.
Peter around up this tree.
I completely thought of you when I saw that. I was like,
Thank you.
that Steven is Yondu. But I was like, poor Peter. You know, he's taken away. His mother died. He's taken away from his home planet, and all he wants is a semblance of normalcy. And you got, I hate Christmas.
Right.
Jesus Christ. But no, it's a perfect encapsulation of him growing up, and it's a good callback to, you know, Peter's sad childhood.
Right.
But yeah, you know, I had a lot of fun with this. It starts off with a cool musical. Peter saying hi, Bazurmatakalak, or whatever that guy's name was. It's like 15 syllables. And like,
that was Kevin Bacon actually has a real band.
oh, that's cool.
I think they're called. Look it up. They're called the Old 97s.
Okay, I don't doubt that. But yeah, no, I thought this.
Remember the scene when he's singing?
Yeah.
With the band.
Oh, that's his band.
That's him. That's him. That's his band.
Okay, cool.
And there was a song they actually wrote.
All right, so
I believe.
kind of sad that, you know, not the whole gang was around, but I'm glad we saw Nebula in the beginning. We saw Kraglin in the beginning,
Yeah.
and sprinkled throughout at the end there too. We got you know, speaking parts for Cosmo there. It's talking to Raccoon, and then like Peter's not even in it that much, which is kind of cool. I think it's just like the adventures of Mantis and Drax, which is like the coolest odd couple ever. Like most of their scenes in like Infinity War and Endgame, well, I think it's just Infinity War, were just like hilarious, you know. Even in going back to Volume 2, and then I love how they paid that a storyline of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Mantis' storyline. We paid that off. I forgot to say. I forgot to say spoilers, but that should be obvious. Spoilers for Guardians, the holiday special. But yeah, Mantis is Peter's half sister, and just a great Christmas present. She thought a great arc for her too, because the whole time she was like, you know, I don't think I should tell him. I don't want to remind him of his sadness and remind him of Ego. And then like that was like ends up being like the greatest Christmas present of all. And I told you this, Steven, and apparently you agreed with me, but we both got teary-eyed at the end there. It's very emotional. I just love the Christmas spirit of, you know, especially for lonely people, which is why like holidays could be the most toughest time for depressed people. But that it just encapsulates that Christmas spirit of, you know, let's appreciate one another. Whoever's in our lives, let's appreciate one another and celebrate whatever we've been taken for granted the whole year long, and let's just take a moment and appreciate one another. And I really think, you know, especially at the end there, that they really encapsulated that, and I cried at the end there. It was really emotional. So needless to say, we both love this. I love this.
It was good.
Yeah. Let's get into a really couple specifics here. I think you mentioned this to me, or you sent me an article on Facebook saying, you know, this is the first MCU film that doesn't really have an antagonist, right?
Yes.
And I really like that. Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I don't think it needed one. I think the antagonist were the blah humbug people like myself.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Yes, it's like the anti-Christmas spirit is the antagonist, right? It's the absence of Christmas spirit.
Correct.
It's an idea. It's that idea that we got sparked off by Yondu saying, "I hate Christmas." You know what I mean? So great that an antagonist is like what, like metaphoric, right? And then they're just trying to to
I don't
to flip that on
necessarily
its
know why
head.
they would need to have an antagonist in a Christmas special.
Right, and it's 40 minutes too. So like, how are you? I mean, that's the problem of Werewolf by Night. You know, like they tried to wrap things up with a protagonist and antagonist in such a short amount of time, and it kind of fell short for me. Whereas this film, like, just really simple and really fun, and that's all you need for a holiday special. You know what I mean? So interesting that I had to compare and contrast those two shorts, those two holiday specials, but you know, it is what it is. I did that, and this is what I got. So it's really cool how they when they got on the planet, they're just like they went to Hollywood, right?
Yes, I love the scene when they're off of Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes, and taking pictures.
Captain America.
Oh yeah, she like goes to hug Steve Rogers, right? Yeah, she goes to hug him,
Yes.
and then everyone's like tipping them, right? Because they think they're on the Man Chinese Theater.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's for the Grauman's.
yes.
Yeah.
And then
they make all the old mad tips and money.
yeah,
And they go to the bar.
they go to the bar. They're like Drax is just hand over fist, just shot after shot, binge drinking with Mantis. Mantis is dancing. Of course, Drax isn't dancing because he doesn't dance. I for some reason I kind of thought that like someone was gonna try to rape Drax. You know, I thought one of the guys were gay or something. But but no, I just not that there's anything wrong with that, but it would have been interesting to see Drax's reaction to that. You know, he probably would have just would have destroyed him, not in like in gay lovemaking, but like literally destroyed him. You know, like get your hands off me, vile creature. I don't know. Anyway, but it looked like they were at a gay bar because they're all like really, I don't know, happy and happy-go-lucky and bright colors, and one of the guy looked like Freddie Mercury. So I was like, thought it was a gay bar, whatever.
I never looked at it that way, Joseph.
Okay, so they're they're hammered. What?
No, that's.
You're gonna see it a whole different way now when you rewatch it now.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so they're hammered at this point. They're like, we got that great image of them on the poster. They're like leaning on each other.
Right.
Mantis with the Ray-Bans. Yeah, Mantis with the aviators. Like she looks like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. And Drax got the Christmas hat too. What a great image with all the Christmas lights behind them. And then that lady
and that sweater with the cat with the laser eyes.
Oh, he doesn't get that till later, until the
that's true.
When they're on nowhere. But the lady gives them a star map to find Kevin Bacon, and they have no more money. So Mantis uses her powers, her telepathic mind powers, to give this to me for free. And do you remember trivia here? Do you remember who the celebrities that pop up on the star map while they're going to find Kevin Bacon?
No, that's a good question. I didn't notice that.
Okay, the first one is Margot Robbie. The second picture is Queen Latifah. The third celebrity is John Cena, who is the Peacemaker on another James Gunn movie and show.
Right.
We got Arnold. Right. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Running Man himself.
Oh yeah.
And finally, before Kevin Bacon, we got Mark Paul Gosselaar from Saved by the Bell fame.
Oh yeah, Zach.
we got like all these like A-listers, and then Mark Paul Gosselaar. Just so like out of nowhere. It's hilarious.
Every time I've gone to see the celebrity stars' homes.
Yeah, you always stop by.
I'm there for Mark Paul.
You're there for Mark Paul Gosselaar, yeah, and me maybe for Dustin Diamond before he passed away. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Screech. Rest in peace.
Oh, Screech.
Yeah, so we got Kevin Bacon at home in his like
Mario
Holly.
Lopez.
Yeah, Mario Lopez too. Yeah,
AC Slater.
AC Slater. We got Kevin Bacon here watching a Christmas special of his own in his Hollywood Hills mansion or wherever the hell maybe he's in Calabasas or something.
Now, you want to know here's a really great trivia question.
Okay, go for it.
What is the movie that Kevin Bacon is winning?
I don't know. Is it A Christmas Carol?
I don't know either. It's something to do with Santa in space.
Oh. Is it the Muppets in space, or a Muppet Christmas Carol? No, it's not a Muppet movie.
No, that was the one with Michael Caine, wasn't it?
Oh, really? Okay. I don't. I've never seen it. I'm a huge fan of that the new Muppets movie from 2012 though, the one with
Right.
like Amy Adams and that one dude. I forgot his name. But yeah, so they go to his mansion. They're like, "We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon." Not just Kevin Bacon, but the legendary Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Um, I just said that, Drex. Your voice is small and mousy.
Now so long mousy, I'm not sure that he heard you.
He's Kevin Bacon. He's probably got great ears. He's just like,
That led me into what was they're like, so not all actors are complete assholes.
right. Yeah, at the end there. So she keeps ringing the doorbell. Mantis, that is. Kevin's just trying to enjoy his sandwich, watching a Christmas special, waiting for Kira Sedgwick to come home, which is his wife in real life, right?
Yep.
From the daughter of legendary Edie Sedgwick from the Warhol, those Warhol people fame, right? If I remember correctly. So yeah, this is kind of fun. I like when Drax gets obsessed with that elf. It's like I want to take him home. I want this funny man. And then like Mantis thinks the candy cane is a person too.
Yes. Does this look like a person to you? No, ma'am.
So Kevin Bacon's just like, this isn't cool. And then they end up kidnapping him, which is a great little scene. It's like it should be kind of scary. Like they're like a home invasion, their celebrity home invasion, but they make it like so funny. And then Kevin Bacon like jumps off of his balcony. And in the calamity of it all, Drax drops his elf.
Yes.
For some reason, Mantis is holding her candy cane the whole time. And then they have the whole argument of like, I need to go back. I need to go back and get that funny man.
Yeah.
And then your favorite scene here where Drax gets shot at by the cops.
Yes, it tickles.
Yeah. And then he proceeds to like flip over that cop car and starts laughing. Cause that's so funny. Violence against law enforcement, right?
Oh, always.
I forgot how they get. Oh yeah, so yeah, they have a conversation with those two cops who are like flipped over, and Mantis like apologizes, and she should have done this from the beginning, but of course we wouldn't have that great action sequence. But she uses her mind powers to say, let's go, come with us.
Right.
And he's just he's happy to come along. What is the ship that they board? Do you know what their ship is called? I forgot.
The Milano.
Oh, Milano. Okay. So they proceed to like rob that Christmas store and like take all the Christmas ornament, and then that's when we see
Right.
Drax.
Yeah.
That's when we see Drax with his cool Christmas sweater there with the laser eyed. It looks like Allie. It looks like Allie there. Looks like your cat there.
Yeah, a little bit.
They should give you some royalties.
They should give me a free sweater.
And we have a link to that eBay sweater if you guys want to check it out on the Facebook blog and Instagram. So check it out, guys. All right. So we get back home to nowhere. And they did a great thing. They jacked all those ornaments for a reason, to decorate this little plaza in nowhere. Decorate it with all the Christmas lights, fake snow. Because as far as I know, it doesn't snow in nowhere, right?
I not based on today's forecast. No.
Okay. Kraglin's get in on it. Presses some lights. Peter's thrilled. And then I love his reaction when he's like, "This is human trafficking."
Yeah.
Like,
You abducted Kevin Bacon?
oh god, so absurd and brilliant. I kind of like Mantis's holiday sweater too, but not as cool as Drax's, of course. So Kevin Bacon, like they what do you call it? Unhypnotize him, and he starts freaking out. He's like, dude, calm down. That's a talking raccoon.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
The Rocket's like, shut up, you son of a bitch.
I'll kill.
I fucking hate you.
Oh, the Bowie. It's called the Bowie. Prepare the Bowie and get him back to Earth. I'm reading from. I got the movie here in the background here. Groot even has a cool little antler ear, reindeer ears here, or reindeer antlers here, and they're all set to bring him back home. Kevin's freaking out there as is his wont, and Kraglin's explaining to him how he was the only thing that meant anything to Peter growing up, and giving him the whole spiel, and of course changes his mind, and he gives a call to Kira saying, I'm gonna be late. Is it okay if I be late? I got to teach my friends here about Christmas.
Right.
And then he rocks out with the old 79s. Is that what they're called?
Old 97.
Old 97s. Okay. Thank you for the correction there. We have a whole little cool holiday performance from him and the band. Very exciting. And a great way to end this little adventure. Kraglin petting Cosmo there. Kevin Bacon rocking out with a guitar solo. Man, I want to hear some of his stuff now. It's kind of cool that I didn't know he was in a band. Very cool. And the Christmas spirit is alive in nowhere. He gets a hug from all the members, all the Guardians, a big group hug actually.
Are you watching it right now?
Well, yeah, it's playing in the background. Yeah. I'm playing it specifically for the recap here. And then we got the final reveal, which I mentioned earlier about Peter's related to Mantis, their half sibling, and he said that's the greatest gift anyone could give me, or something along those lines, right? And then another big reveal here. I
think it was cool that he got Group Game Boy.
Oh, right. Yeah. Which you said was your first gift as a Christmas. Your Christmas gift as a boy.
1989, I believe.
1989? Nice. I never got a Game Boy. I got a Game Gear, though.
Oh, you had a Sega Game Gear? So did I.
Yeah, because I like Sonic. I like playing that all the time, but I wish I had a Game Boy just because, I love playing Tetris.
Tetris was pretty classic.
Yeah. And then
Brothers.
Mantis explains, how, Yondu and Kraglin, ruined Christmas for him, and then he gives that great reveal how, you don't really know the whole story. Yondu's kind of a softie there. he plays, at being a hard ass, but he's kind of soft underneath. And I kind of like that about him too. He's digging around in the Christmas trash there, and then he opens
the Christmas trash.
Yeah, the Christmas trash. Then he opens and he got some kind of car thing that you put on, some ornament that you put on the car there, like a bobblehead, but not really. And then Peter.
Yeah. Peter got him one of those little ornaments.
Yeah. It almost kind of.
In the first involved,
right.
Was with the chop, and so
it looks kind of like Grogu or Baby Yoda, but not exactly. Which would have been cool, but it wouldn't have been what do you call it? It would have been what's that word? That word where it's out of time, because it's supposed to take place in the 80s, right? So
right,
where Yondu was raising him. Anyway,
I hate Christmas.
Oh god.
No way we're gonna celebrate. I got your gift.
Yeah.
Smash your Christmas tree.
And Yondu gets him those laser guns or whatever, those that he uses till this day. So that's kind of cool. And it ends with the animation. They're hitting each other, and it's so nice that we forgot that Yondu is his father figure.
Michael Rucker classic.
Yeah. It's so sad that he he passed away in Volume 2, but his spirit will always be with us, right? So that concludes. Anything else you want to add about the special there?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, I had a great time. A great soundtrack too here. You got the waitresses, you got the old 97s, a lot of classic, alternative band rendition of Christmas songs. So that's, of course, we should have expected that from James Gunn. He always jam packs his films with great soundtracks. So I'm glad that they didn't have like another mixtape theme. That would have been hard to do. Like, oh hey, I got this mixtape that Yandu made for me or something. It would have been just like kind of out of nowhere. So I'm glad that they just did like the live band thing and just had music at the bar or something. You know what I mean? So they didn't have to like force feed us like another mixtape. You know what I mean? Which I don't know how they're gonna do for Volume 3. Like, did somebody else make him a mixtape, or maybe?
Remember
No, hold on.
Volume 2, he got the Zoom.
Oh yeah, he got a Zoom from Yandu. Oh,
Right.
but I was gonna say this. Think about this.
We got this in a garage sale on Rex's 4.
Right. Check this out, Steven. What do you think about this? This would wreck us. What if? Wait for it. Gamora left him a mixtape before she died.
Ooh.
That would fucking wreck us, wouldn't it?
Probably.
I will be emotionally. I couldn't handle that. I'd be bawling. Anyway, that's that's what I'm thinking about these days. How I can get emotionally wrecked.
Good for you.
Thank you, Guardians Holiday Special, for bringing up that masochistic part of my personality. Anyway, so that was the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Sounds like we both loved it. And would you be on board for more specials there, Steven?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be Guardians specials. It could be any other MCU specials, right?
Well, absolutely. And like we talked about, I really wanted to like Werewolf by Night.
Well, it sounds like you liked it a lot more than me. So, and I don't want to take anything away from that. Just because I have shitty taste in horror films, doesn't mean that you have to hate it too. So, anyway, that's gonna conclude our podcast episode called the Holiday Special. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to for Phase 5. What's the film that you're most looking forward to there, Steven, or show in the next coming phases to come?
I am really looking forward to Quantumania.
Quantumania? Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be the next one, so you don't have to wait that long.
Well, February, so.
February, yeah. It's only like 2 months away. Like, we're like halfway through December, so it's really like a month and a half away. Really. Right?
Yeah, but I want it now.
You want it now? Well, Avatar Way of the Water is just going to have to tide you over for the next 2 months, all right?
That's true.
It's not MCU, but it's, the next event movie that's going to be breaking box office numbers left and right. So, I got to say...
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if it beats Top Gun.
If it beats what?
Top Gun.
Oh, Top Gun? I think it will, but we'll just have to see.
I think it has the potential to, yeah.
And I think, well, I don't want to get into this too deeply, but even if it makes money into 2023, it still counts as a 2022 movie, right?
Correct. I believe
yeah.
that's how it works.
So yeah, I think it'll beat it for sure. Because December, there's no other movie that's going to be close to it.
Agenda, really.
Yeah, so it's going to be raking up. It has the slot all to itself. It has the holidays all to itself.
Yeah, it does.
I'm looking most forward next year to Guardians Volume 3 just because it's going to be James Gunn's swan song with the Guardians.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to wrap things up. It's going to be really emotional. Like, if you thought we bawled during the holiday special, Steven and I are just going to be an emotional wreck after this movie, probably, more than likely. And also Captain America New World Order, just because I'm a huge fan of Anthony Mackie and Falcon. Can't wait to see what they have in store for us there. And
Harrison Ford, nonetheless.
Say that again.
With Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah, he's going to be the new General Ross, right?
General Ross. Yeah.
So he's going to be in 2 Disney stuff next year, along with the Indiana Jones movie, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's the year of Harrison Ford, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, so that's going to do it for us. Well, first, let me, plug again to bookend the Lazerboy podcast on YouTube. Find us on the lazerboy.wordpress.com. Find Steven and myself on posting a lot of blog posts on the MCU Kevin 616 page on Facebook, and I'm spending a lot of time on Instagram. I've been neglecting our Pinterest page, so I gotta get back on that. And stay tuned for a lot more content from us in between. I know we're probably not gonna have another podcast until Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in February, but who knows? Maybe something will tickle our fancy, and we might, get together and talk about whatever. So stay tuned for some more stuff to come. Steven and I from the Lazerboy and MCU Kevin 616 wish all of our listeners, the one listener out there, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Hope you get all that you want this holiday season. Spend it with your loved ones, and if not, hopefully you spend it with us, and we keep you company. We keep you warm and happy, and pass the time, hopefully, and away from the bottle, or maybe you can have the bottle and listen to us too. We don't judge. We don't judge.
I don't judge you. I don't judge you.
But that's going to do it for us here on the Lazerboy podcast. I want to thank Steven for co-hosting with me as usual and talking everything MCU. Thank you so much, Steven.
Thank you.
You want to say any happy holiday greetings to our listeners, our listener?
Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a Killer Kwanzaa.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Happy holidays and good night. See you next time.
Santa is a furry freak with epic superpowers.